This is how you make me feel. This is how you make me feel. Oh, good, oh, great sunshine all day. This is how you make me feel. And I feel good.
Vere is the next person that is going to be speaking to you. Hello, Vere.
Hi. Thanks
I
for
want to
having me.
introduce this young man. I watch him grow up. Him and the sister, and I am so proud of him that today he's so brave and speaking so well on stage, and it really makes me very proud that he, like, there's young people like him that's doing something for this country, right? So Vere, can you tell us why you stepped up? And I always see, every time there's videos online, and I always see people say, "Oh yeah, you are the only normal person. Why didn't you join SDP? Why didn't you join PSP? Why didn't you join WP and other political parties?" So I want to ask you, why did you step up to politics, and why you chose People's Power Party?
Right. I think first of all, thanks so much for having me on your session here. I dare not take any credit. All the credit, if I've done anything good, goes firstly to God and also to my parents who raised me. I think that other people also ask me this, why did you join PPP? Because the media has been smearing us a lot. They've been trying to make us look bad, make us look, not well put together and things like that. And the reason why I joined PPP is simply because of what I did say also in the last rally, because it's about values. The values that are the core of the PPP, the People's Power Party, resonate with me. It's what I believe in. Primarily truth and family, doing the right thing for the country and valuing the citizens. And I think I was impressed by PPP being the only opposition party to step up to talk about this thing that no one wants to talk about. And it's so strikingly obvious that no one wants to talk about this because we've tried. And we've said it before, if someone else can take this burden off our shoulders, we would gladly let it go and, go home and sleep. But we can't. And so the burden remains on our shoulders and we are determined to do something about it. I think every single person in the PPP, they have this sense of duty. They're not doing this because it's easy. They're not doing this so that we can get some fame or some accolades, because we're getting the opposite right now. But it's so that we can sleep in peace at night, so that we know that we did the right thing, so that we can stand up for the people we love, because we don't want to see Singapore going down this road that is going to become tyrannical, or perhaps it already is tyrannical, but it's right under our noses. And it's very sad because not only is this, gambling with people's lives, but it's also a reflection of the nature of the way Singapore is being led. And if it continues to be led this way, even if they changed the vaccine thing, even if they didn't, enforce the law this way, but the spirit that Singapore is being led in will eventually lead to its destruction, because it's about fear, it's about control, it's about, it's about authoritarian kind of brainwashing almost. And this kind of environment is not going to be conducive for the next generation to step up and take over and grow, because we're always trying to use the old methods to change the future, and it's just not getting very far. Yeah, so I hope that this can be a wake-up call to all Singaporeans to think about what the government actually stands for and what it should stand for and what that should look like in practice. Yeah. So that's why I chose the People's Power Party.
Well, I think you chose right because because values is really, I think, the most important thing in as a leader. Because as a politician, you are leading the country, and today, of course, there's no lack of capable leaders in Singapore. They are got their PhD, this and that, lawyer, law degree, medical degree, and so forth. But the hardest thing, right, is this thing called values, right, and the courage to do what is right, because
Yeah.
the leaders of of tomorrow, which I firmly believe, right, needs to be somebody who's upright, needs to be somebody who's willing to stand up, and
Yeah, I
that.
think I think that there's a huge temptation for every leader, and especially in politics, which is to say what people want you to say and what people want to hear, because that will get you to the top the quickest. You just
Yeah.
parrot whatever it is that you know people would like to hear, and then everyone likes you.
Yes.
But that usually means telling lies and not, upholding the truth. So it will get you popular, right? Trying to please everyone, trying to make everyone happy, but it's not real, because truth is binary. That's is up or down, left or right. You can't be everywhere at once. If you stand for everything, then actually you stand for nothing. And if
Exactly.
you stand for nothing, then you won't stand at all. So people need to understand it's about truth.
Exactly, because you know truth, because as a politician, the politicians are lawmakers, right? And if you go into parliament and make laws not based on truth, then can you imagine how bad our world is going to become, how bad this country is going to be run if it's based on, let's say, propaganda or some kind of, like, weird science, or like science that's not even that is it that can be manipulated that can be
Yeah.
manipulated based on money or and so forth, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I also found out recently what PPP stands for, like the torch. You want to say a little bit about that, because I that was something that struck a chord in me as well.
Yeah. So the torch, I also found this out recently. That the torch is the torch of truth. So we shine the light of truth wherever we go with this torch. And the truth will definitely burn up all the lies. That's why it's a torch. That's why it's fire. So it's hot, right? And if you carry this torch, you'll be able to chase away the darkness, chase away the lies. And so that's what we want to do. We want to bring this torch of truth into the highest places of government where the light needs to shine. Otherwise, how are you going to see where you're going? You've got no light. So the
Exactly.
torch not only, yeah, burns away the nonsense, but shines the way forward. So that's what we need. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it is for this reason that I would say, even though PPP is a small party, but I think it's founded on very good values. And I was listening to a Spotify interview also about how, the party has got basically policies to check and balance, and I really like that. Okay. And I don't know whether you're in a position to talk about the check and balance policy. Okay.
Yeah.
Um
I think there were a few policies that were being proposed. One of which was, I won't go into the details because it'd be a bit technical, but basically there are certain officers, like right now the electoral boundaries, the committee, right? Then they shouldn't be answering. They should be in a separate jurisdiction
yeah.
because there's a conflict of interest,
Yeah.
things like that. And then the setting up of an ombudsman committee. That means it's a separate committee to actually check and make sure what's being done is being done properly. Things like that. Because many times there are conflicts of interest. There are people who are making the decisions, but because of their position, you're not sure who they're representing. And it's easy for those areas to overlap, and that leads to abuses in power. And after the elections are over, then you can't really do much about it because it's already been set in stone for the next 5 years. So things like this may have worked in the past when Singapore needed some iron hand to, get itself together in 1965. But it's now 2025, and these methods are outdated. They can be
Yes.
considered archaic, draconian, and people are way, way too educated to succumb or believe these kind of methods anymore. And if you continue to use these tactics, an excellent example is the gerrymandering that we are seeing, which is so painfully obvious. They continue to use these tactics, they alienate the young people because the young people are not stupid. They're all university degree holders. So it's got to stop. This is about governance. It's about demonstrating the integrity, demonstrating the transparency. When people are able to see that, then they can trust the government. And then there will be more unity in the nation. Otherwise, we are actually destroying ourselves, but quietly. There's a quiet sort of disintegration that's happening in Singapore. I think Chen Tao brought it up just now, that 60% of people want to leave. That's a lot. 60% is more than
Yes.
half. Yeah. So we need to think about the foundational issues. That's why if you listen to my speeches in the rallies, I don't touch on policy much because the policy stems from the values. All the policies stem from the values, stem from the core beliefs of people making them.
Yes.
That's what matters in the end. It's the root causes.
Yep.
Hmm.
And okay, I want to ask you a little bit about your education because
Sure.
I know you have a very unusual education. You were homeschooled, right? And
Yeah.
maybe is there
So
anything that I think, having had your experience, I think you can really give a lot of good ideas and about how we can think out the box. And I mean, I'll leave you to speak what you want to say, and because I think um I I think you are very mature for your age, and
thank you.
it's probably because of your education, right? So
Yeah, I like to tell people that I was educated, but I wasn't schooled. So I was home educated. So I've never actually set foot in an official educational institute my entire life, actually.
you're lucky you're not
So
brainwashed.
that's a good one. That's a good way to look at it. I Yeah, my parents taught me. They homeschooled me ever since I was born. And I started working already when I was 15 and in various different positions. I think I have quite a lot more experience than most people my age because of that. And because I was homeschooled, I was also able to follow my parents who traveled a lot. So at 26 years old, I've already been to about 17 different countries and, you know, met a lot of different people, learned a lot of different things. I've tried to start my own business and worked in many different positions. So I think that has helped me to have a broader perspective and see things from a different angle. If you are always in one place, like a lot of my friends, they've been in Singapore their whole life, so they don't really know exactly how it works in other places. And actually, one of the things I noticed Singaporeans do is actually we take this place for granted. If you travel enough, you will know that even though we have serious problems here, Singapore is truly a miracle place. It's amazing what we have here. And you just need to travel to any of our neighboring countries and you'll realize and be grateful for what we have, which is all the more reason why I think it's worth fighting for. Yeah.
Yes, because I mean, to I would say that we are one of the safest country in the world. I mean, you've been around, you know that. So one thing good that the PAP government did for us is to have this really safe country, which I really appreciate. So let's be clear. We're not here just to bash up the government or anything, okay?
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think there's a lot to improve. Okay, there's a lot to improve. And like what you say, you know, a lot of the laws and things were made in 1965 for whatever reasons, and society has changed, our population has changed, and we must keep up with the times. And having someone like you in parliament, I think it's going to be an asset because there's a lot of people generals who study a lot and do well in studies, right? But there needs to be other you know, representation of people who are different, because different people make up the society. It's not just paper generals who who live in Singapore, and why should they be the only ones who get to make the policies, right? And so we yeah, is there any questions that other people would like to ask Via? I mean, maybe we can take one or two. Okay, somebody say I disagree, Iris. A safe country is the duty of any government. Yes, it is true, but I would say other countries that maybe not as safe. I don't know. Do you have anything to respond to that, Via?
Mm, I mean, there's not a lot of countries that you can walk around at 4 a.m. at night and not worry. That doesn't mean that yes, correct. That doesn't mean that we are safe from medical tyranny. That doesn't mean we are safe from government overreach. That doesn't mean that we are safe from abuse of power. But I think I'm just trying to be a bit more optimistic and count my blessings as well. I think if we become too negative, it's also not good because we have to see the whole picture.
Yes.
So it is the duty of every government to ensure the safety of their citizens within the borders of that nation. And frankly, as far as physical safety goes, Singapore has done a good job.
Yes.
Physical safety. All right. Other safeties, okay, we can debate and then remedy the issues. That's that's my 2 cents.
Yes. I'm actually waiting now for Mr. Lim to come online, but he's not. So I maybe can have some time. I think you want to talk about what PPP is looking for volunteers and you know
Yeah,
how to support
exactly.
PPP in the
Yeah,
meantime.
we really, really need help, not just donations, but we need manpower. We need people, especially on the polling day, to be polling agents and counting agents. What that means is that you will actually be there at the polling booth to make sure that there's no funny business going on, to make sure that the votes are sealed properly and transported to the correct vehicles. Counting agents will be at the counting center where the votes, the ballots are actually being counted, and make sure that none of the ballots that are meant for us goes to any other party. Because there have been reports before of people, they are angry, so on the ballot they will write, go to hell or some bad word, or they will just strike out the whole paper. And what can happen, I'm not saying it will, but it can happen that the counting agent will say, oh, he wrote go to hell on the PAP side of the paper, so he voted for PAP. Or he wrote, he scribbled something, and then most of the ink is on the which side, so they say, oh, that's the vote for them. And they'll just makan and eat up any of these questionable votes. So someone has to be there on our side to look carefully and see and make sure that that doesn't happen. So that would be a counting agent. So we need volunteers who are willing to do this for us. It will be, if you want to be a polling agent, that means you'll be there from the morning, I believe 8 a.m. until evening, probably around 5-ish. I don't have the exact details. This one I'll go and get. But the counting agent will be in the morning. Sorry, the polling agent will be in the morning. Counting agent will be in the evening when they're doing the counting. Yeah. So we need your help. If you know anyone who will be willing to help us on the 3rd of May to do this, then please let us know. You can get in touch with Iris, who has, I think you have the form, the volunteer form.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we will just capture your phone number and a few small details so that we can add you into a WhatsApp group where all the other volunteers will be there, and then we can coordinate ourselves. We don't have much time because it's already Monday, and we have until basically Saturday to settle this. Yeah, I think
Yes.
less. I think we have less time. You have only until take it until we have Thursday, lah. So we got the next 4 days. We need over 200 volunteers.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. If
Anything
we
to
can have,
add from Derek's side about this issue? Is if Derek's still there, does he want to add anything
yeah,
about?
he's here.
Yeah, I think Derek, you want to
Yeah,
say
just a
something?
second. Sorry. Yeah, so they're asking about the polling and the voting agents. What else do we need?
Hello.
So what's the question again? Sorry.
You want to call for volunteers? What kind of volunteers you want? You know, this is your chance to tell everyone
Okay,
what
so
they need to do to volunteer.
so we need a lot of counting and polling agent. Polling agent for us, I think at the moment not so important because there's a lot of party fighting. So there's a lot of party looking at the box as well. But counting agent, I need a lot of counting agent to watch how they count and there to speak up and make sure that all the box are actually loaded to the counting center. Yeah, so this is the second half of the battle. We don't want all the hard works, all the rally, and then someone change the box or whatever. So we need to look at the box properly. All the ballot sheet are being counted properly. So I need a lot of volunteers. We have a briefing on 1st of May is a Labor Day holiday, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock at Centrum Square. Yeah. So if you want to, you can actually PM me or go to our website. We have this link dot
Can you
Google
give
Doc.
them the link? Can you give them the link and type in the box if you can?
Okay.
And then I can put it up as well, you know.
Okay. Now I put in the link.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I also want to tell you all about another link that yeah, so okay, it's a Google link. I will put it later in the chat group. I mean, it's hard for the people online to see because it's hard, but anyway, you can go to the PPP, the People's Power Party.sg website. I think you may have some place there to collect. And also I want to share about the manifesto and how to contribute to you guys. The link for that. Okay. You can go here. I have it's bit.ly/PPP capital manifesto, and you can reach this link where you can read about the party's manifesto, as well as I think there's a link to support you guys as well. I know every party is looking for money for there's a lot of expenses for the rally and the elections and so forth. So if you wish to support them, you can go to the link there and do the pay now and stuff. Okay. So there are two-person put up the hand. I don't know because of this forbidden food. Okay, because hold on. Mr. Lim is yeah. I was waiting for Mr. Lim. I think he's just calling in. Okay, so is there any questions? Is there any last words you guys want to say to people while you have them at your attention? Derek, I think you're muted.
Oh no, I like to thank everyone for attending tonight's
Yes.
meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
So come and pack the stadium tomorrow and send a very strong signal to government that we reject medical tyranny.
Yes. And so once again, I think Mr. Lim, where is he coming in? Okay, he's coming in. We are just going to wait around for him, but you guys are done. If you are busy, you want to go off. Okay, and you can join my channel, which is on Telegram, bit.ly/healing the divide, where I will be updating everybody about the latest election information, especially from the People's Power Party. And you have a rally tomorrow. You want to tell everybody about the rally tomorrow? Where will it
Okay,
be?
the rally is at Yio Chu Kang Stadium, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And are you having any other rallies after tomorrow?
Hopefully. So we need the
Okay.
funds to come in. So because every rally is around 10,000. So we are a bit
Okay.
short of fund, but hopefully it will not be the last rally. But just take it as the last rally. So please come and support us.
Okay, guys, you hear it? Okay, tomorrow, if you want, okay, People's Power Party will be at Yio Chu Kang Stadium. Okay, and it's next to the Yio Chu Kang MRT station. It's
Yes, correct.
very just walkable distance from there,
Mm.
and you don't have to be at Ang Mo Kio or Tampines, right, to come to the rally, because we want you to hear the information that will be presented. And of course, please feel free to bring your friends, relatives, and after you hear the information, you can then share with everybody. Okay, and the slides and all that has been presented by Mr. Goh Meng Seng just now is found in my Telegram channel. You can go there, and I have there will be stuff that you can find. Okay, so your friends can join my channel and to get some information as well. Okay, the link for the thing. Okay, so yeah, I think you're more or less done.
This is how you make me feel. This is how you make me feel. Oh, good old green sunshine. Oh, baby, this is how you make me feel. And I feel good.